BTS just passed. Unexpectedly, their own Magne has become a threat to the group's record. Not only has Jungkook escaped BTS shadow, but now he's running away with the title of the biggest K-pop soloist in history. How is that possible? And why can't the world stop talking about him? We'll cover everything from music industry theory to career strategy to the technical details that make Jungkook the new king of solo K-pop. Jungkook, what started out as BTS Golden Magne, has now turned into a huge entity in its own right. A phenomenon. Phenomenal. But most importantly, he's no longer just a boy group personnel. He's a major name in the global K-pop solo battle. If you think that a K-pop member's solo career is just a transition from the group, then Jungkook has completely debunked that theory. He's not just a solo experiment. He's a new blueprint for Korean artists who want to have a strong individual identity, but still carry the global spirit of K-pop. Why is this big? Because for the first time, a member of the biggest group in the world, BTS, not only released a solo song, but broke statistics and made history. 1. Records overtaken? Here are the details. Jungkook broke streaming records, Billboard charts, and digital and physical sales figures, even reaching markets that were previously difficult for Asian artists to reach. His song 7 made it to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, something most American musicians have never even tasted. On Spotify, Jungkook recorded the fastest stream as a K-pop soloist with millions of monthly listeners. Not just Korean fans, but Latin America, the Middle East, and even Africa have joined his new audience. BTS is a legendary group. But Jungkook as a solo artist? He's already established a new ecosystem. 2. Jungkook's strategy, solo but not alone. Theoretically, Jungkook's success can be seen from his personal branding and market positioning strategy. He's not just selling a good voice, but he comes across as a smartly packaged global product. First, he didn't release a full album right away. He started with collaborations, Charlie Puth, left and right, followed by a single full of viral gimmicks. That way, he got a mainstream audience without losing his core K-pop fanbase. Jungkook also managed to build a solo persona that was different from his image in BTS. In BTS, he was the lively, powerful, and energetic Magne. But as a soloist, he is more mysterious, mature, and sensual. It wasn't a coincidence. It was part of a very strategy-conscious rebranding. 3. Global domination, English as a weapon. One important thing to note is, Jungkook uses English for his solo works. This is not just a matter of language. It's a mechanism of cultural adaptation. In an increasingly competitive global music market, artists who can reach the Anglo-American, British, Australian market have a much greater chance of dominance. And Jungkook understands that. The songs 7 and 3D are all in English, but still with a strong K-pop vibe. This creates a bridge between two worlds, the Western music industry and his Korean identity. 4. Visuals, attitude, and marketability. We also can't ignore one factor, Jungkook's visuals and attitude. In the entertainment industry, visuals are not just about good looks. It's about aura, presence, and personal magnetism. Jungkook has it all. He can be sexy but not cheap, elegant but not stiff, quiet but seductive. And it's all perfectly executed through his music videos, live performances, and interview sessions. In the modern entertainment world, artists don't just have to be good at singing, they have to be brand living. And Jungkook? He's not just a product. He's a big brand that's been recognized worldwide. 5. Industry and world media reaction. Western media started to change the narrative. They no longer say Jungkook from BTS, but global pop star Jungkook. This is very important because it shows that his existence has separated from his old identity. Media outlets like Rolling Stone, Billboard, and even The Guardian have started discussing him not just as a Korean singer, but as a new pop icon who is being shaped by the market and time. 6. About BTS and the new era transition. Does this mean BTS is over? Obviously not. But one thing is clear, a new era has come. And Jungkook is at the forefront. K-pop has always been known for its collective system, group, formation, harmony. But now, the individuals within it are starting to rise as independent forces. And Jungkook is the perfect example of that transition. He didn't destroy BTS records as a form of betrayal. Instead, he expanded BTS legacy to a higher level. Because when one member can be this powerful alone, then we know how much collective power they once had. We talked about achievements, branding strategies, and even cultural transformation through Jungkook. But one thing we can't ignore is expectations. Since the beginning, the public has had crazy expectations for all BTS members, especially Jungkook. As the center, main vocalist, top-notch dancer, and multi-talented idol, he has long been considered the chosen one. But will those expectations be pressure or fuel to shoot even further? In reality, Jungkook makes those expectations the minimum standard. He doesn't just meet the public's expectations, he exceeds them. One from idol to artist, the rarely realized difference. There is a big difference between idol and artist. Idols are formed by the system. They are trained, corrected, and controlled by the agency. But artists? They express themselves, make creative decisions, and determine their own narratives. Jungkook has reached that stage. He started writing songs, getting involved in arrangements, choosing his own concepts, and even actively involved in the visualization of his projects. Not just being the face of an entertainment product, but he has become the creator of his own brand. This is an important point that people often forget when discussing K-pop. There are many cool idols, but few who can be called independent artists, and Jungkook is filling that gap. 2. Cultural expansion theory, Jungkook and Korea's soft power. If you want to look at it from a bigger perspective, Jungkook's role on the global map is not only about music, but also about soft power, a term in international relations that refers to the cultural power and non-military influence of a country. South Korea is very aware that the world is not only conquered through economic or military power, but also through pop culture. And Jungkook is the new face of that power. When he appears at international events, collaborates with Western artists, and performs on world music stages, it's not just a personal achievement, but also part of a national strategy, introducing Korean culture through a relatable, global, and young face. And yes, for many people out there, Jungkook is the reason why they started learning Korean, started watching dramas, started being curious about Seoul. This is not just a fandom. This is a cultural movement. 3. Fan response and ARMY evolution. Fandom has also changed. In the past, ARMY was a loyal community to the BTS group collectively. But now, subcultures have begun to emerge within the fandom itself. Some focus on RM as a musical poet, some support Jimin with his aesthetics and emotional intimacy, and of course some focus entirely on Jungkook. Uniquely, Jungkook's fans have a strong engagement pattern in the international realm. They are active on global social media, aggressive in voting and streaming, and even create their own donation and promotion movements. This fan base is no longer just fans, but more like a shadow agency that has a clear structure and mission. And this gives Jungkook real-time and organic market power. In a world where algorithms and data determine trends, Jungkook and his fandom have become a new, independent working system, without having to wait for direction from HYBE. 4. The future? No longer about songs. Now, the important question is, where will Jungkook take his solo career? Will he continue on the global pop path? Or will he return to his K-pop roots full of dance, choreography, and Korean visuals? Or will he break out of both and enter a new world? Acting, fashion, even the business world? One thing is for sure, he has made his own path. And that path no longer has to be parallel to BTS. Doesn't even have to be parallel to other Korean artists. 'Cause right now, Jungkook is not just a K-pop soloist. He is a cross-border cultural entity. What makes all of this even more interesting is the fact that this process happened naturally. There was no big drama, no internal conflict, no negative media exposure. Jungkook rose in a smooth, consistent, and measured way. And that's precisely why he has become a force that intimidates many parties. 'Cause he didn't come with controversy. He came with quality. And that's more dangerous in the entertainment world. In the past, K-pop was identified with big groups. Now that narrative is starting to shift. Not gone, but growing. And Jungkook is the face of that new era. He proved that an idol can become a global artist. That a member of a legendary group can stand tall alone and still shock the world. And that BTS's records aren't walls to be guarded but challenges to be overcome, even by those who helped build them.